Hello, everybody. It is 11 a.m. Eastern, waiting just a couple more seconds before maybe kick things off on this side. Happy to have you attend our monthly webinar today, so we could go over kind of a high level overview of mission control. This month's focus will be the same, where we kind of go through that little kind of order of operations, but I'll be kind of doing a special attention to collaboration tools within mission control. So many ways you're able to collaborate internally and externally with customers, prospects, or even your own team. So might as well kick things off. Yes, I am sharing. Great. So with that being said, quick introductions on my side. My name is Julian. I am an account executive here at Mission Control. I'm personally based in Montreal, Canada. Our support team is a little bit based all over the world, so in Sydney, Australia, and in the US, with our headquarters in Sydney. So what we'll be doing today is going through kind of giving you a high level understanding of mission control, telling you the kind of who we are, what we do, everything around that. Then I'll be jumping into a demo org and going through from launching a project from an opportunity, assigning resources to that project, logging time and completing actions, also creating a billable event. And throughout the whole process, I'll be focusing on different ways we are able to collaborate externally by using mission control and by means that don't even require licenses. So, with that being said, kind of the high levels of why mission control. Mission control is native to Salesforce, meaning we are built on the Salesforce platform, as there's no separation between mission control and your Salesforce instance. Meaning, think of us as a series of custom objects living in a Salesforce environment. We are a layer of project management on top of your current environment, meaning every data point you'll be seeing today, every record can be reported on as would any other record within any other sales cloud, any other Salesforce cloud. Um, what you'll be seeing today is basically our solution. I'll be kind of playing around with either a full admin version or maybe even a little bit more of a toned back version. We're a fairly robust tool. We work with a few different industries. Everyone uses us slightly differently. So we give you the tools to help you run your business, to help you scale your business. And the idea is use what's important for you, and what's not will be there for you to use at a later time. Um, we're not trying to upsell you over feature or upsell you on features or kind of everything we give it to you out of the box, and the idea is for you to use what you need to and hide what you don't. In terms of implementation, there's the sales there as we're a managed package on Salesforce within the App Exchange. There is no coding required in terms of it's all front-end manipulation, and we're fairly easy to get up and running. So simply, if you go to the App Exchange right now and you click Get It Now, we have no guardrails. You're able to download the package directly into your instance and start playing around. If you were to go to that route, we also have spectacular collateral online. So if you go into support, if you go into our support area, which I'll be jumping into towards the end of the call, you will be able to see that we do have awesome videos created by our success team. We have knowledge articles from every single object and feature within Mission Control. We do have highly descriptive articles, along with um, along with a user guide that's a little bit more plain English, linear approach to getting acquainted with Mission Control. And at any point in time, if anyone, either a prospect, client, or someone even kind of within our ecosystem has any questions regarding Mission Control, our global support team will always be available. I think typically we aim for a 95% response rate within 4 hours. So by emailing support@aprika.com, someone from our amazing success team will reach out promptly. So, in terms of kind of let's say our customer reviews, we do. If you were to go on the App Exchange, our reviews are jokingly good. So it means that a lot of our customers really appreciate our solution and also the team behind the solution. I think that a lot of that plays into kind of, let's say, those first moments together where we help you get set up. So in terms of implementation, I'm not going to go too deep into that as we're very flexible on that front, and we could be as supportive or as laid back as you need us to be, where we aim for a 45 to 90-day phase one implementation complete. But realistically, within a couple of weeks, you'll actually be in the platform using us as it's very easy to get set up and running. So in terms of how we support you, we're always here to educate audiences on mission control and also best practices within the professional service ecosystem, specifically within Salesforce. So what a typical sales cycle with us looks like is really kind of understanding if we are a fit. If we aren't a fit, we will quickly disqualify, as we're not trying to force any solution that doesn't make sense for your business. But when we do see there is a fit, we really try to understand the requirements, understand how we could help your business or even teams within your business, and then jump into a very tailored evaluation stage where we could do workshops, demonstrations. We're open to doing trials, and really making sure you understand that this is the right solution for your team. So there's no separation between expectations and realities. And even in terms of onboarding, we'll make sure that we find the right solution for your team, where we do have the collateral online where you are able to onboard yourself. But we also have the team that could do everything for you. So within that spectrum of onboarding, we'll always find the solution, and then going along with ongoing support. Brief history about our company. Hold on. We have been on the App Exchange for roughly 13 years now. Our CTO and our CEO are actually the founders, meaning no part of our solution has been ever acquired or hodgepodge together, which helps for continuity with a lot of our interfaces. And we truly are one solution. Um, and we are also the first users of our solution. So we use our full solution to run our business from head to toe. Um, and we're more than happy to share best practices and tips and tricks on how to get the most out of mission control, and also how maybe companies like your own use mission control. Here. So in terms of features and functionalities, it might be a little bit consuming if I were to go to every single object here. But keep in mind we have these solutions and tools here for you. Look, the idea is a crawl, walk, run approach with most of our customers, where usually people come up to us with one big pain, and we'll focus on that one pain, be it either within project management, having visibility, trying to shorten timelines from, let's say, booking to delivering projects, or if it's more visibility in resource planning and having a stronger grip on your forecasting abilities. We'll really focus on what's important to you and kind of have that be the focal point of your stage one, of your phase one, of your MVP. And then if it's part of our discussion, kind of jump into other pieces here. Um, we really focus on kind of having the solution work for you rather than you working for the solution. In terms of logos we work with a lot of industry leaders, specifically within the pro serve space, but let's say oftentimes touching construction, manufacturing, financial services, health services, and especially software that kind of intersect with a lot of those other industries. Energy has been a big uptick recently. Within the last few months, I've had a handful I personally had a handful of new clients that come within the energy space. So happy to explore that further with anyone and even share best practices. So I'll be jumping into my demo org now. Feel free. So we do have our questions open. I'll try to field them throughout the call. If you ever have any specific questions that maybe I might not make sense for me to reach out during the call, I could definitely follow up with anyone directly after the call, and maybe even jump on after the fact. So with that being said, let me stop sharing this. Let me jump into my demo org if I could find it. Here we go. There we go. So share my screen. So this is mission control. It might look familiar because, as I mentioned earlier, we are native to Salesforce. Think of us as a series of custom objects that live in your environment, where we seamlessly interact um, with your interface and kind of have the interface that's right for individuals, groups, and even teams within your organization. So, like you can see on top here, there are some native Salesforce objects like dashboards, home, accounts, contacts, opportunities, leads. And then we start to see some mission control objects like projects, timesheet, scheduler, Gantt charts, and all this fun stuff down here. Now, the idea is what's important for you will be available for you, and whatever is not, push it to the side, and then basically it will be there if you ever need it to be there. So let's say like this is an interface that kind of let's say maybe an admin might see, but what an individual on your team, maybe depending on their needs and requirements, they might have an interface that's a little bit more focused just on maybe actions, projects, dashboards, which is reporting, along with a Kanban board and Gantt chart. It's really dependent on who needs what, and basically we'll even have some out of the box permission sets that might be helpful as well to get started. But before we kick things off, what I'd like to do is jump into a quick fundamentals together. Um, by jumping into, so basically I'm going into a role record. The role record, what is a role? A role is an individual who is assigned to projects, who has related records they're part of teams, they have skills, they're certified in certain ways, and they're actually mission control users. So jumping into my own role record here, I want to show you some data that comes into it. We can see that basically I have a title, I have a function. I also am allotted to work certain amount of hours a week. So I'm working 8 hours a day through Monday through Friday, which rolls up to 40 hours a week. What we could also see is that basically my billable target is 80%. So in later views that we'll be showing you, I'll be showing you into the platform is that there will be some pages where you can see I'm in the green, I might be in the red, I might be in the yellow. It's all based on my own billable target and my own hours per week. Let's say if you are working with an external who's only working 1 day or 2 days a week and you want them to be hitting 100% billable, um, those color codes would change based on these parameters here. You could also see that I have my own bill rate, I have my own cost rate, that could take effect based on the how my projects are built. So even if I let's say I have a project later down the road that I'd rather not rely on my own personal bill rates. I want to rely on a rate card. It will definitely trump these numbers you see over here. Or if you even want to have a blended rate as well. So it all depends on how you want to set up that project. There's a lot of customization that can be done at the role record, not even going into setup. So if I want to set up certain permissions, notifications, automations, even let's say my project overview page. So I'll be jumping into a project in a bit, and you can see that I've lifted some tabs basically because I don't think they're important for me, but they might be important to someone else. So it's as easy as just clicking these little boxes within the role record to enable or even reduce at the project interface at the project object level. So before I jump into my opportunity and kind of automated project creation, I want to show you one last thing within my object record, which would be my related records at the role level. So what you can see here is that I've been assigned to some projects, I've been assigned to some milestones along with some actions as well. And let's say all my time logs can be found here. But what we could also see is that I have been assigned some skills, and also I've been assigned to multiple teams. So later down the road, when I'm looking to maybe staff a project, and I'm looking to find someone who possibly speaks French and is on, let's say, my project management team. These are These are ways I'm able to filter in many different ways and find out who is the best fit for an action based on sets of criteria. And even let's say if I'm trying to understand my bench and I want to see what my project managers are working on, or let's say everyone who has a certain skill, how what's their capacity like. These are great ways I'm able to filter through my bench and have that visibility. Something we also have the last thing I want to maybe share at the role record would be holidays and holiday allowances. So this definitely plays into your availabilities in your calendar. And being that we have these records available could be related, um, meaning we are able to manage your holidays and time off within Mission Control. But let's say if you are using a third-party tool, being that we have these objects, we are able to kind of push and pull from whatever tool you're using from, as long as they would be able to connect with Salesforce. And just maybe even to speak on that, being that we are Salesforce native, our API is the Salesforce API. So anything you could connect via the API to Salesforce, we would play well into that as well. So with that said, let me jump into an opportunity now. And from this opportunity, I will be automating a project creation and then playing around from there. So let's go April 16th webinar because I'm very creative. Let's just do today, stage prospecting. So this is a standard Salesforce opportunity. Nothing special on that front. Obviously, within your own opportunities, this could be fully customized to your own pipeline statuses, to have the fields that are specific to you, whatever validation rules required between moving from stage to stage. Everything is just standard Salesforce. But then we could see some mission control objects on the right-hand side, like forecasts, projects, project requests, change requests. So the idea of being able to create a project from an automation at the opportunity level is every business does this slightly differently. So we've built our solution to be able to match whatever process you're looking for. We can have that match within Mission Control slash Salesforce. So just kind of say to speak into that. Speak into some of the ways that we do see oftentimes people creating projects from an opportunity would be if you do leverage Salesforce products, what you can do is match products with project templates. So if you are adding products to an opportunity, you would be able to build a modular project based on those multiple products. That could also stay true if you want to have, let's say, if you have multiple products and you want it to be separate product projects, that could work as well. So what would trigger the project creation from an opportunity would be the pipeline status. I would assume maybe 80% of the businesses we work with all like to create your projects based on closed one, but it doesn't need to be closed one. Let's say if you do want to have that project collateral start forecasting earlier on into the sales process, it could be any one of these or any one of your pipeline statuses. So what I'll be doing today is kind of keeping this as simple as possible. Is what I'll be going in and grabbing a project template that I like. Having my project start date would be the 16th. It doesn't need to be today. It could be any date in the future. And what I'll be doing is generating my project based on that opportunity pipeline status change. So now that I've set that up and I move this to close one, what you'll see over here is that we don't have any projects. And just by moving this strictly to close one, a project template has been created. A project has been created from our template. Now, those templates can be as descriptive and granular as you need them to be, or they could be as high level and bucket like as you'd like. It doesn't need to be one or the other. It could be both. So you could have the kind of bucket of hours within these highly granular work breakdowns. And it's up to you. Basically, this is where we help you set up your templates as to match your business processes. So let's say if you just need a managed service package and just want let's say duration of 60 days, 20 hours, that makes sense. Or if you need, let's say, a highly granular implementation process, we could definitely help out with that as well. So now, by jumping into the actual project, what we could see over here is different ways we can interact with the project. So we start off with a lot of reporting that comes native within our tool. So we can see actions, overdue actions, checklist items, overdue milestones. We also have insights on that front as well. I've listed some earlier as well, so we don't necessarily we don't have too much over here. We just have what I need. Now let's go back into the overview. So the overview over here, what I'd like to show you is maybe even speak to the hierarchy that we allow for within Mission Control. Mission Control has a 7-layer project structure, with the highest level being portfolio management. Under portfolio management, we allow for program management. Under program, we could have projects like we see over here. Under projects, we allow for phases. Under phases, we could have milestones. Under milestones, we allow for actions. And under actions, we could have checklist items. Now, you don't need to use every one of these layers, but they are there for you to use if you do need them. So you could also see that within this project, I have scheduled hours to these placeholder assets, which aren't named users, but they are placeholders that belong in teams that do help me that do allow me to forecast better into the future. I also have a buildup of hours, start date, end date, which build into duration, and along with IDs that are throughout the platform. So there are different views we have to interact with the solution. As I mentioned earlier, we are truly one solution. So any action taken on the overview will affect the whiteboard, will affect the Gantt chart, and will affect everything else related to the project. So jumping into a different view over here, which is our Gantt chart, typically a bit of a fan favorite. What we have over here is a way for us to look at the project through a little bit more of a visual timeline view. So just to speak to the hierarchy that I showed you earlier, we have our project. Under our project, we have our phases. Under our phases, we have milestones. Under milestones, we have actions. Under actions, we allow for checklist items. If I go a little bit deeper, go a little bit closer into our project, what we can see here is I've also built out dependencies. To build these dependencies, it's literally dragging and dropping from action to action or milestone to milestone or phase to phase. And what you can see over here is that by moving this, let's say this project, this action over to the 21st, because of those dependencies, everything else moved out in accordance. What we also have visibility is into our baseline and our actuals. And as I mentioned earlier, these are all data points that we have um, that you are able to leverage into data for reporting. So even at this stage right now that we're looking at a project timeline, we see that we are able to export these via PNG, CSV, PDF, and have it as easy as possible for you to leverage this externally. But we do have some other external collaboration tools that I'm excited to show you into. One of them is a project status report that we do have the ability to edit directly from the project record as well. So let's say I'm going into my project status report over here. We can see that I've included my health check, accomplishments, observations, and a lot of other features that I'm excited to kind of have within the project, within the status report, which I'll be able to launch from here. And what we also have are these view-only links. So these links can be shared externally, and we'll be able to have a lot of content from the project to use as external collateral. So now by jumping into my status report, let's say if I just launch the status report over here, what we'll be able to see is that we do have a lot of information over here. So typically we have a health check, which I'd like to maybe show you here. I do have to update something on my side, but if I'd like to maybe show you into a health check, what that might look like. Look at something like this. So typically, so this is a project status report that what we could do is uh, generate it directly from the project record, where you can see you have project completion percentages, where you're at in the milestones, and a lot of information that comes directly from the project. So you're also able to limit a lot of this information that I showed you on that earlier page, where if you are sharing this externally, and it's important for you to maybe remove some milestones, remove or just have everything just at the milestone level or whatever it is, it's a very configurable interface that you could leverage specifically for that. We also are able to inject health check records into this, which there is also a Agent Force application, which we have directly on our website, and you're more than happy to check it out from that front. So this is a great way for you to kind of, let's see, even have this automated to be sent out to different individuals, teams, or externals as you need it to be. And like just as I was mentioning earlier, in terms of collaboration methods, we also have those view-only links. So let's say if I go into this link over here, what you'll see is at the project level, you'll see I'll have a risk tab and a Gantt chart because that's important for me to share. So by generating this link, so this is a just unique URL that it's up to you to distribute as you require. What you could do is have full visibility into your project, your timelines, as you need it to be, without the ability to actually interact with or jump into any of these milestones or actions. So by even going up here, we can see that the project structure I had earlier, and have full visibility into the project as required for sharing timelines. And let's say you could have any one of these tabs open that would share further information within the project. So this is an easy way to kind of say share timelines, or if you're having a weekly stand up with a customer, just to kind of keep that feedback loop going and a little bit more transparency if you're looking to share that within your project. So along with the Gantt charts, something we have is a whiteboard as well. So think of this as a Kanban where you're able to understand, let's say, action owner, who's working on what are the statuses of certain actions, what are the priority of actions, and having that visibility at the project level. Along with at the project, we could see billing events. We could manage risks, issues, expenses via a payment order, or even log purchase order, and you can log expenses to the purchase order. And even going back into the project over here, something I'd like to maybe show you further into is um, so Mission Control isn't an ERP. We're not a general ledger, but we are able to create and manage a lot of your billing information. So if you can see over here, I do have a billable milestone at the front end of my project. So once I complete the signature, I'm able to create a billing event that would ping the appropriate person on our team. So there's many ways to complete actions. I could have done this directly on the Kanban. I could have done this on the Gantt chart or even within the overview. But let me just jump into the actual milestone record, set this as complete. And now jumping back into the actual project, going into that billing tab, what we'll see now is that a billing event has been created. And this billing event essentially could ping, let's say, someone from your accounting. If you do have a bridge that connects to your ERP or general ledger, you could push this information directly to that platform, or you are able to even invoice directly from Mission Control. We're very flexible on that front. We have all these tools for you. It's just important to understand what process are you looking to achieve, and we'll be able to match that using our solution. So jumping back into the overview over here. Um, so now that we have our project, some of the questions might be, how could I add add tasks, add actions, add milestones to the project? There's multiple ways to do it. You could do it at every level here, either at the overview, at the Kanban board, or even at the Gantt chart level. So if you only want to, let's say, use templates and never create ad hoc actions, by loading them through our template loader, milestone loader, you'd be able to inject templates into a template. So you could have this highly highly structured process where your team is only able to add what you allow them to add. If you want a little bit more of an ad hoc feel to it, or if you do need to create multiple actions or milestones, we have these create milestones and create actions tabs over here. So this is the interface is a little bit more, it's a little bit closer to a spreadsheet. So let's say we have our Gantt chart, we have our Kanban, are very visually friendly. But these have a little bit more of that spreadsheet feel. And what they allow you to do is really kind of create projects quicker and easier. So as a power user myself of Mission Control, let's say when I am creating my projects or interacting with actions, and I do need to, let's say, I need to create, let's say, five new roles, and I need all those roles to be, let's say, um, governed by myself. This is a great way to mass assign actions or individual milestones and create them quickly and efficiently. So this might seem like a lot if you're seeing this for the first time, but as a power user, this is the best way to really kind of interact with your solution. So let's say for your team to be kind of, let's say, reviewing timelines, you might be leveraging your Gantt chart or different views. But when you're really kind of creating projects or doing ad hoc milestones or actions, it's really done through this interface. So jumping back into my project, something I want to show you over here is how do we turn these placeholder resources into named users. So what I could do over here is by jumping into our resource assignment wizard, what I'm able to do is assign individuals to the project based on either teams, skills, availabilities. So let's say if I even want to switch out, I don't want to look into my consultant team. I want to go look into my project management team. What I could do over here is by clicking into this, we have visibility into my project management team and also their availabilities. So you can see over here myself that I'm well overbooked on a few of these on these weeks, definitely in the red as my billable target was 80% as I mentioned earlier. And what you can see is I'm well above that. So it might make some more sense for me to give this task to someone more appropriate like Colin, or even adding as many contributors as I'd like. So a contributor can be someone who you give time to, or just people who you want to assign to the project and have visibility on that front. So now that I've assigned them, I'd like to maybe go into some high level overview. So within the everything I've showed you so far at the project level, we also have global views. Um, So just like we have our Gantt chart at the project level, we also have a global Gantt chart. So think of this as a bit of like a Gantt of Gantt, where you are able to slice and dice your data as you require and have visibility into timelines as you need. So let's say if I'm looking at all my projects over here, taking a step back, I can have my filters where I could set up as many filters as I'd like and even save presets to those filters. So if it's only important for me to look at certain businesses, or let's say projects who have certain owners, or let's say regions or statuses, or even custom filters, everything can be set up directly from the global Gantt chart page, where I do have visibility into those projects. Something else I know is a bit of a often it's a bit of an edge case for a lot of businesses, but I know that something that is of interest is being able to build dependencies between um, different projects, so inter-project dependencies. Um, it is something we allow for. I know it's not common within the project management space, so I'm happy to share that right here. Along with our more global views, we have our whiteboard, which is our global Kanban, where I do have visibility into, let's say, who's working on what are the priority statuses around the business, what are statuses, different actions, and then if I'm looking to just slice this down to individual resources, teams, however I want to slice this and have that visibility, this is a great way to have that kind of global understanding through a Kanban board that can have many levels of presets. Um, So within these global views, we also have something that I'd like to maybe quickly show you into, which is our scheduler. So as I staffed my project earlier, um, you can see that I've assigned actions to an individual. So what our scheduler is I would call it like a hybrid between a Gantt chart and a resource planner, where you have visibility into um, holidays, financials. So let's say if I want to take a quick look into financials, I can see the financial implications into individual resources. What I also have visibility into is, let's say, my hour detail. So who's working on billable, who's working on non-billable, what are exempted hours, and who has holiday. You can also see your hours total from this page. But now jumping back into that action tab. This is where it gets a bit interesting, where this is a view where I can, let's say again, I can use any level of filter. If I'm only looking to look at different teams, so let's say I want to go look at my team of project managers, because they are my favorite team of the day. If I want to look at my team of project managers, then what I could do is even have different date ranges. We could go up to 52 weeks, it might be a bit condensed, but we do have that ability and even kind of change the visibility here. Now, what you could see here is, let's say, um, if I'm if I understand that the week of the 20th might be a bit heavy for me, and I might have a lot of things that roll over from the prior week. What I could do is even drag and drop actions directly from my week into other weeks or other individuals. So basically, impacting their allocation and also having impact on the dependencies I showed you on previous pages. What you could also do from this is create actions or holidays directly from the scheduler. So it's a great page to really interact with your project from that front. And everything that basically I'm showing you, all these records, everything kind of does exist within, can be pulled into dashboards within Mission Control. So every record, every data point that I've been showing you today can be pulled into a dashboard for your individuals or groups or teams to consume. So I personally have my own homepage dashboards that are specific within my own Mission Control, my own production, are specific to my needs, and everyone throughout my team does have the same interaction. So within the theme of customer collaboration, one last thing I want to really draw out today is everything I've shown you within Mission Control can be expressed within a Experience Cloud portal. So what an Experience Cloud portal is, um, think of it as a third-party web page where there would be credentials for individuals on your team or customers of yours to log in and have visibility into maybe projects that are specific to them. You could have, let's say, a list of their invoices. It's really customizing this interface for the purpose of interacting with clients and only sharing the right information for your clients within a fully white labeled and customizable web page. So as I mentioned, this is a CSS web page, so you could create this as you need and express only the bits and pieces that you want to share with your customers. So imagine if you just want to share Gantt charts, homework, invoices, um, and maybe another tab that's fully up to you and can be fully decided on your front. One way that we internally leverage one way that we internally leverage our own portal would be a customer facing portal. Um, so if I were to go into here, let me go into here. So this is our support page. What our Mission Control support page has would be our knowledge base, which is our own customer facing experience portal where you could see we do have you could contact support. We have all knowledge articles about everything within Mission Control. So imagine every object, every feature I've shown you today does have their own knowledge article. So this is something you can see further into where, let's say if I want to go into a Gantt chart and understand what every button, every feature is, this is a great way for you to interact with the Gantt chart and have visibility in terms of what everything means. So every object, every feature within Mission Control has one of these, and this could be found within our own public-facing experience portal. Just by searching this within the top tab, you'd be able to find what you're looking for. Along with our knowledge base, we do have amazing training videos. So our success team has been constantly creating these videos that could be helpful for um, any process within mission control. And along with that, we do have our user guide. So if you were to go the route of downloading a trial from our app exchange listing, we highly suggest using our user guide because it's a plain English, linear process into getting acquainted with mission control and really becoming successful within that trial environment. So understanding the basics, configuration, getting started, and everything on that front. So even in terms of if you would like to do the route of um, going through a trial, if you go to our app exchange listing, by clicking Get It Now, you would be able to download directly into your app, into your sandbox or maybe your production, and have the full experience within a couple of minutes. We're more than happy to collaborate with you on and helping that process be as successful as possible. Um, and we're here for to support you. So I guess with that being said, that brings us to the end of today's call. We feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any thoughts, any ideas. This video will be sent out to all the attendees, and more than happy to maybe do workshops or anything specific that's of interest to you. So with that being said, this is me and Cosmo, our mission control mascot signing off. Cheers.